This week, we tried to stay positive and fight to overcome, but it's hard to see the silver lining, no matter how the story spun. It's pipe and nipples, and the Ashville Scaffold City should be done. I wish I could say the same for the machine. That's 26 ton. And we open our arms in welcome because the day has finally come. It's the return of Wilson, Ashville's prodigal son. I'm Daniel, and it's Ashville Weekly, episode 202. It's Monday morning, and I'm in the yard. Where else would I rather be on a bright, sunny day than fighting the good fight right here? Let's continue with the scaffold to create our roof cover over the temporary workshop and access to the containers. One of the machines has come back from hire and there's a small problem with the hose. Now the hose hasn't completely gone, but it is leaking. So we're gonna get a company in right now to replace that hose. This hose transmits hydraulic fluid between hydraulic components, such as pumps, valves, cylinders, and motors. This hose is flexible, reinforced, and designed to withstand the high pressure and high temperature conditions. Hoses are critical in the function of heavy equipment as they enable crucial functions like lifting, digging, and providing power to attachments. Been talking about our traffic light plan for a couple of weeks. I'm just waiting for Keltec to find some space in their diary, but we have preparation work to do. You can see we've brought 4 of the large blocks into this area. We're gonna bring an excavator over. We're gonna dig out the stone, what we put here, what we've been compacting, yes, because we love to double handle in this yard. And we're gonna line up 2 of these blocks in line with this concrete slab. And then we're gonna fill the material around it again and compact it once more. Then, on the top of the concrete blocks, we're gonna chisel away these little parts what help it interlock with the blocks above, because we need this to be flat. We can then place these traffic lights on top of these. We just had a delivery. See? Here's our 110 cable and all our plugs, what I ordered last week. Well, now I ordered 8 plugs and got 4. I swear I ordered 8 plugs. The lads told me that there were a couple of comments saying what's going on with the refurbishment project. Yes, the refurbishment project is continuing, of course. I just haven't had a chance to go there. So let's see how the refurbishment project is getting on this week. We're marking up and cutting shutter in ply. This is being used to board up some of the walls in the hallway. We will then fit plasterboard on top of this. We do this so the walls have a firm fixing for fixtures such as artwork, once the client moves in and starts to make this house a home. We have a pallet of 25mm moisture resistant MDF, which we'll use for the windowsills, and a pallet of 12mm plasterboards to continue boarding the walls and ceilings. In the snug, the central recess part of the ceiling has been completed and plastered. We're now working on boarding the outer perimeter. This yellow pipe in the wall of the kitchen is a gas feed for the island where the cooker will be. It comes from the garage, feeds through the recess in the wall and under the floor to the kitchen island. I'm back again. having a look at a site, who are getting rid of bits because the site is closing. Now, we've had a few bits out of here in the past. I came to have another look, and there are some very interesting bits. There's a nice white container with loads of nuts and bolts. There is a huge red substation. Not sure if it can work with our electrics, or if I suggest it to my engineer and he's gonna go and tell me to take a running jump like he did last time I suggested something like that. There's also some double storage cosh unit, so we could put barrels of oil on the bottom, and we can put the smaller 25-litre ones on top. There's plenty of hooks for lifting bits of kit around the yard. Loads of stuff that Daniel likes to store and may never use, but I just can't pass up on an opportunity to come and have a look at a site which is closing. And then Ben pulled up. The first thing he shouted out the window was, "Don't let him have any more stuff." It appears that Ben is disgruntled with my Ashville antiques collecting. But he was down here to get on a 20-yard bin, which he is going to do a tip and return on. Back in the yard, and a delivery has arrived. Thank goodness. It is the idler for the 926. We are desperate to get this back on so we can get the machine working again. The 926 is best placed for the big material shift that we're going to need to do from the old yard to the new yard. So hopefully this is the last bit we need for it for a while and we can get it working. A little delivery from QPR. In case you didn't know, we used to sponsor QPR. We were the main sponsors for like 5 years. I've already got one in my office, but this must have been a spare one that I was going to put somewhere else. We've got two. Oh no, this isn't mine. This is for my friend Dr. Tunde, who you've seen in the past. This is the Urban Lawyers one. I'm going to send him a picture of this. And there's another one here as well. Let me check what that is. Ah, this is an Ashville one. There we go. Probably wasn't enough space in our box to put this on the wall, and QPR have been storing it. So now I'm going to put them in the server room merch container, put them in storage, because when we actually do the work in the new yard, we're going to have loads of space on loads of different walls for memorabilia. And this will look very nice on some of those walls. Back out on the road again, come to grab the keys for AS17 CON, which is due for test. We are waiting for a bracket, and the lorry cannot get tested until next Monday. And it's Monday now, so the lorry is going to be sitting here for an entire week. No point of that. The tyre fitter has gone to collect the bracket, and tomorrow morning, bright and early, we're going to fit the bracket on the lorry, and then it's ready for test, but we're going to put it out to work and then bring it back on Friday, because we're busy on the concrete and we need it, because the other one, the engine is gone, and we have another one in a workshop having some bits done to the auger. Make use of the fleet that we have and not have lorries sat in depots doing nothing. Oh my God, it's so hot in here. Drop the lorry off at a local garage. And now I've got to walk back to Volvo and Hayes to get my car in 32-degree heat. I suppose there's worse times you could be doing a walk. Could be raining. Back at the yard, it's time for the 500-hour service of one of the LOUISY excavators, which is back from hire. We're changing the oil and the oil, air and fuel filters, then having a good look around to ensure all is well. We need to change the cutting edge on the 566 loading shovel because it is completely battered and we may have already started damaging the bucket. Truth be told, I've ambushed the engineer here and asked him to help us out. He wasn't prepared, so doesn't have the right tools with him, but he's taken pity on us and he's going to try and work it out and help get it done.
That's fine by me, mate. Up. There we go.
It's Tuesday morning, we're in the yard. We have the 926 off the pile. The fitter's gonna come in around 8:30 this morning to fit the new idler, and then hopefully this machine will get going again. Now, the question is really, why have the tracks been left to get that dirty? But I guess I'll have to have some internal discussions and find out why. These tracks are adjusted by pumping them with grease. So we disconnected the grease adjuster, pushed the tracks back. Now we've attached a chain onto the arm and we're just moving forward and we're trying to lift the machine and actually pull the tracks off, which is done. Nice. Whoa!
So in here there should be a bearing.
Yep.
You see that shaft there?
Yep.
What's that, 90mm, 80mm?
Yeah.
That would have run through the middle with a bearing around it. Your bearings are completely gone, disappeared, and so is your 80mm shaft.
Okay.
And it's worn on the back here, and because it's been banging around for so long,
Yep.
it's actually broken your recoil spring.
Ah, it's going from bad to worse.
They're normally about 1,800 quid.
£1,800. Oh my God, this is going terribly. It's very specialist, so no one's gonna have one of these in stock. I'm speaking to Bazza, Welder Fabber, and we're seeing if we can get this reconditioned. I heard there's a crowd doing it up in Liverpool. If that's the case, it's going in the tyre fitter's van right now. The only way to get these machines out and get everything working in the yard is to apply pressure the entire time to get it ready. If you leave it and walk off and say,
I'll sort it out later,
this machine could be down for another 2-3 weeks. We're checking because we think the idler might be wrong.
So that slides in your track frame, that bit there.
Side arms are wrong size, yeah?
Yeah.
Truth be told, it is very difficult to buy parts for these machines. Obviously, the manufacturer wants you to always buy the parts from them. So with the serial number of the machine, it's very difficult to match up the exact idler. There are a few different variations, and from the pictures I sent, I don't think it was enough information because I didn't actually pull it out and measure everything like we're doing now. Thought it was going to be nice and simple. Now we have bigger problems. Check the dimensions from this drawing against the idler, and all of them were the same except the part where it slots in over here. That one dimension was wrong, but it came from Italy, who are now closed for the summer. So minimum it will take 10 days to replace that. So we're exploring other avenues, and I'm talking to a company in Holland who break Liebherr machines. The only trouble is if they send the wrong part, it's got to go all the way back to Holland. Central London penthouse project. The client is waiting for us to provide a start date. I'm trying to tie it in with the work we're doing at the refurbishment project. The main trouble with the job is the fact it's on the top floor. At the demo stage, you need to cover the entire ground floor, cover the lift, cover the stairs, so you don't damage the communal areas. But you have to keep the waste in the apartment, wait till you've got a skip downstairs, then you have to bring it all down, load the skip, and through the demolition stage, you have to do this a high intensity. Then you have the first deliveries of material which come in, and the plasterboards, etc., and the ply and the longer pieces of timber, they're not going to fit in the lift. So they've got to go up 7 or 8 flights of stairs to the top floor. We need to go in there, firm-handed, completely demolish, get all the rubbish out, do the first material order, get everything upstairs. And then because of the size of the flat, it's not somewhere where you can put like 10, 20 people. More people on a construction site does not equal more work. I think probably the maximum amount of people you could have there would be 6. Skilled tradesmen in different areas, plumbers, electricians, fitters, people doing masonry work. and then 1 assistant labourer to carry stuff up and down, to clean the site and to keep on top of like the general maintenance. David's away this week. I need to visit the refurbishment project, see exactly where we are, and we may bring in some additional short-term help for the demolition on that site. It's all about logistics, planning it and having the right trades there. 24 hours after changing the cutting edge, we're just nipping up all the nuts and bolts, ensuring they're still secure. New plan. Gonna take all the bits, gonna put them in the tyre technician's van. Tomorrow morning, he's gonna take them up to the north of the country, to Wigan. And when he gets them there, they're gonna have a look at what he has, and they believe they have the parts, but they're gonna compare them side by side. So if he leaves about 6 a.m, should get up there about 9:30, give him about an hour to check everything, then he's gonna drive back. And we should have the parts we need by tomorrow afternoon. It's not guaranteed, as you saw what happened here, but that is the best way that I can see to get this sorted. Luke's filming. I was just explaining to him about all these machines and these lorries, and I was saying, I'm trying to think of another industry where all the costs go up. The labour, the fuel, the insurance, the rent, the materials, everything goes up. But the price of the job is going down. I don't know another industry like this, where the price of the job keeps going down, but the other costs keep going up. I don't know how this works. 1, 2, 3.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. I've had a delivery. Aha!
Yes.
Yes! See, we ordered these for the weighbridge to stop mud slide them down. Prevention is better than cure. So we'll try and slot one of these in. When the mud goes in and the stones go in, they start to interfere with the sensors underneath and we can get incorrect weights. But this should prevent it. So we bought 3. 2 to go on the bridge now and 1 as a spare. Now look at the side profile. Doesn't that look perfect? Spot on. Now I see JCB have arrived to have a look at the forklift. Moving into the new yard, while exciting, means that new procedures need to be created, implemented, and monitored. The majority of our workforce is deskless. Out in the field, tip of the spear. We need to communicate with and manage our entire workforce, so we use Connect Team. Connect Team is an all-in-one employee management app that's easy to set up and easy to use for both management and employees. When we need to set up a checklist for a procedure in the new yard, we use the task management, checklists, and forms features to create, manage, and track in real time. Basically, we create a checklist that our staff can access via the app on their phone from anywhere, and as they tick items off, we're notified. Another example was a few weeks back when we had some of our tradesmen in the team working setting up the new yard and some were on our construction sites. We used the time clocking to ensure we knew where all our staff were and the time they spent at each location. Connect Team also offers many more features like scheduling, communication, and training. So, if like 80% of the world's workforce, your team is deskless, download and use the Connect Team all-in-one employee management app. It works for all size companies in all industries and is perfect in bridging the gap with those who are not tech savvy or don't have access to emails. So download the app and click the link in the description for a free 14-day trial with no credit card info needed. It's Wednesday morning. We're in the yard. Ben took our trailers. You've seen them in the past when I was transporting our 1.75 ton Kubota digger. He took them round to the storage yard, and while he was there, yes, look at that. And while he was there, he brought all the scaffold board round so we can use it to continue with the storage area on top of the containers. Perfect. Now let's see how the tyre fitter's getting on his long pilgrimage to Wigan. In episode 200, I told you about the plan for the levels in the yard, where we're going to stack 2 concrete blocks next to the slab for the railway line and build up the levels on the other side. Well, the engineer just sent me a detail of the areas for access for you to get onto the train track from the higher level in the yard. The engineer has fitted in a drain with a removable cover. So basically all the water on the train track, it will run into this drain before the concrete block, and all of the openings to get onto the track will be 1200 wide. And then there's a detail here. The risers are 180 mil and the actual treads are 225. Happy enough with it. Just want to have a discussion in the yard, see how feasible it is and see if we need to make any changes. The blocks are going to sit on 150 mil build-up of 6F5 compacted, and I've asked for a detail of the plate which is going to hold them together. If we put plates on either side of the blocks, it means that we can't then butt them up against each other flush like this. So I'm thinking if they're on top of each other, we have the plates on the front, 2 on the front, 2 at the back. I can get the plates mass produced. I can buy bolts. I think the engineers specified an M6 bolt. We can drill them, put resin in, 2 on the front, 2 on the back, and they should hold in place. They should. You saw Ben earlier in the yard dropping off the scaffold board. He then went to collect a machine. Now, this machine wasn't from our stock. We borrowed it from a company in our group. We cross-hired. And as my mum always used to say to me when I came home with things which she knows that she didn't buy for me,
go and take that back where you found it. It doesn't belong here.
So Ben is going to drop it off where we found it. Stop. Drop it over there on the floor. Michael the tyre fitter has returned to the yard triumphant, like Achilles dragging Hector's body behind his horse and chariot after battle. We will find out tomorrow if this gets the 926 going again. Oh man, I seriously hope it does. Thursday morning, and we're in the yard. The moment of truth. It is moving, and that's about level. Oh, up a bit. You're still good on the cab, you ain't got much space though. Yeah, yeah, perfect. We need a bit more. I've got nothing left. Nah. I can try and get it further in. This is the jiggly bit. I'm trying to fit it back together where the grease adjuster goes in, and there's a very small area to play with. If we damage it, tyre fit will be driving back up north again. So. The machine is ready to go. The fitter has tensioned the tracks as well. It has half a tank of diesel, but what's the point in tracking past the diesel tank and the AdBlue while we're here? We want it to get out to work and stay working. So we're gonna refill the diesel, we're gonna put AdBlue, we're gonna track our way up the yard and start moving some material at last. We need this machine working. Just wanted to test that the machine was working. There's a load of boulders that we had behind the timber that we tried to save from the concrete and work on the track, because we can probably reuse it when we do more. And the shovel can't get round the back of it. So I just wanted to pull out a couple of the big boulders to see if it was working, see if it was tracking well. And it is. The lever which is being replaced is a safety device that holds the bar in place which the forks are attached to. It's taken a slap and needs to be replaced because currently we cannot get the safety pin into it, which keeps everything locked in. Joe and the lads at Stellar Scaffolding are just about finished. What a fine job. Look at this monster scaffold. I'm just up at the new penthouse apartment, having a look around at my wonderful storage. Do you know how much it cost a square foot to rent space? So creating this temporary structure means we have storage and access and temporary cover from the rain over the workshop. I am well happy with this. Used our boards all the way along the side. There is a small gap there, but there's not a lot that can be done about that. But it stops the majority of the rain getting through. Loving this. We see it overlaps the back, then we have sheeting along the back, and we have this small little lip at the bottom, which means when the rain blows, the water which does end up over here will now not drip into the workshop. Fantastic view from the Scaffold penthouse. This will be my new place to hide. I used to hide over there and stand on the water tower and look out. On the 20-foot containers and the 40-foots, we haven't actually drilled in to any of them. They're just put some boards here, they're sitting on top of the boards, and over here, we've clamped to the containers, but at no point have we drilled to create a weak spot where water can come in and start any rust or damage any of the bits in the container. This will make my townie most happy. And we've created this little area. Once you climb up the ladder past a certain point, trying to get onto the storage, if you were to slip, there is a cage which would stop you falling backwards or falling out of this area. Nice. We're just putting on all the nipples and capping the ends of the pipe so it looks nice and neat. And a lot of the pipes which are sticking out, which somebody could catch themselves on when walking past, they're just being chopped and caps put on the end of them. So it's that bit more safer and looks even nicer. Stellar Scaffold, absolutely smashed it. Check out their channel, good lads. Tie Fit has been on another collection mission. These are our props. If you remember last week, Gary from Reimer came in and helped us out, and we had to put a prop on which was 520 mil, which was a little bit too small. It was right on the edge of what should be okay. But now we have two props. These are both the right size. Both of them have come off the Reimer volumetrics. Prop Shop Services have repaired them. So when that concrete lorry gets back here this evening, we are 100% gonna change this over, and then we're gonna give Gary back his other one, who we thank for getting us out of stuck. Yep, put it on the front here, please. Just doing a little bit of housekeeping. We got track all over the place. We're just keeping some of the rails because they're good, but some of the rails we're just keeping because we've got no burning gear at the moment without my townie to cut them in half and throw them in a scrap bin. Our tank seems to be working perfectly at the moment. Currently there is no smell. It's been here for a while. We want to create some access for it. We want to be ready when the company comes in to suck everything out. So once the scaffolders have finished 100% with the workshop and storage area, they're going to make us a platform here very similar to the platform which we created to get access to the weighbridge. It just means that someone, when they're walking up here with the pipe, they can walk up to about 4 foot high, and they'll be about waist height here, and they'll be able to drop the pipe in without going up a ladder and struggling. Trying to get it all done, trying to get it where it needs to be. The one for the weighbridge, we put that together ourselves, so we were a little bit slow because we're not scaffolders. Watch how quickly the scaffolders throw that together. It's Friday and we're in the yard. So said, so done. We are giving back the 520 mil prop to Gary from Reimer, who helped us out. Thank you, Gazza.
No problem.
Thank you, mate. Back on the road already. Michael changed it. And now Luke is going to go out to a pour with him where we are pouring 80 cubic meters of C20 for some footings. We had a conversation yesterday. I said, have you got another one of you? I could do with 2 Terrys, is what I said. And he said,
do you think life would be easier if we had 2 Terrys?
so I said, my life would be easier. Not so much yours, mate. Do you know the thing with Terrys? You need to treat them like an LH60 or a 926. If you don't have them at full working temperature, flat out the entire time, they can go into limp mode. So you gotta keep Terrys working, because all the sensors will go, they don't know what to do with themselves with spare time. They're going to do things like go fishing and be falling in the water and doing all mad things like that. So you've got to get yourself a Terry, get 2 if you can, and you've got to keep them working at the optimum, because when they're burning hot, they can regenerate. That's what you need to do, innit, Tezza? Yeah, if they're not busy, they do silly things like go and enjoy themselves. We got things doing. Forget about all that. Start talking about bank holidays and all that nonsense. Anyway, over to my wonderful landing to get up to the waste tank. Now you will notice that I have run out of yellow steps. I've lost everything. How am I supposed to sleep at night with 1 step different from all the rest? Dude, I'm furious. I'm furious! No, I'm only joking. The lads did a fantastic job. This is the icing on the cake. Imagine you've got your hose. You come up to this point, you unscrew it, you get your hose, you drop your hose in. Perfect. Very good. We are already looking at preparing for Monday. We have a machine that's going to be returned that was out on a cross hire. That 5-ton machine will be back any second. The company who cross hired it, they're dropping the 5-tonner and they're taking another machine immediately. We're then going to have another company come in tomorrow and fit a breaker onto the 5-tonner, which just came back, and that breaker is going to go out first thing on Monday. Ben's going to drop that machine off, and then he's going to come back and he's going to collect a 3-tonner and a dumper. Then he's going to take that to a job, and from that point, once he's dropped that off in Harrow, I think it is, he's going to head to somewhere in North London and collect a machine and bring it back. So we're already thinking ahead. We're working directly with clients and we're cross-hiring to other plant hire firms. So plant hire has picked up again, I'm very thankful to say. And here they come now. I'm going to take it out. I'm just going to keep it because we're going to reuse it. I have fence. I want to build fence to here. I just need a pedestrian gate to get in and out. I can take this off 2 minutes. What about if we put the gate here and then I can put 2 barriers and make a path? I will leave this completely and all the vehicle access is blocked. If somebody wants to move this to get in, boy, good luck to them. Yeah, that's a post there, yeah.
Leave this one here.
Yep.
From here you come 1 meter, yeah, because there's a post here.
Yeah, there's a post there, yeah.
So you come here just 1 post.
Yeah.
And then from there to there we can connect somewhere, and then that's all. This is the one.
Okay.
So just move this one.
That's it. I can move that. All right, so we have a plan. Saroj, who supplies all our steel. My original plan here, we've thrown that one out the window. We are now going to put the gate here. I'll put some jersey barriers around it. That means I massively save on cost because I don't have to change anything that's going on here. Thank you, Saroj. The time now is 5:28 p.m. Just a few of us left in the yard. All the lorries are parked up, a bit of administration work to do, and I'm taking a walk. Try again. Network Rail were in earlier. This part of the yard is our secondary connection. Now, we knew that some work needed to be done on the track here, which Network Rail have expedited, thankfully, but they have put tie bars on here. Tie bars basically hold the track together and stop it from expanding. When Network Rail did a survey of this area, it was deemed that the track had slightly spread and it was out of tolerance, and maybe a loco would fall off. I'm probably being a bit dramatic. But it was outside of tolerance, and Network Rail have very high standards. Within 3 weeks, we believe the remedial works are going to take place. Now, I'm not sure if they're just going to pull out the sleepers and redo the sleepers and bring everything back to within tolerance, or they're just going to pull everything out and do it all over again. We had the contractor out earlier who carried out the works. They had to carry out their final survey, and they're going to provide us with a report that we can provide to GB Rail Freight. So we are there or thereabouts trying to get a train in here. It's not going as quickly as I would hope, but then again, nothing really goes as quickly as I would hope. Because apparently, according to my townie, my name is
200-mile-an-hour Dan.
That's it for Friday. Saturday morning, we're in the yard. We're just moving all of the 40-yard bins off the train track, moving them over to the other side. So on Monday morning, we have no obstructions and we can have another survey of our new train track. Grab this. That one. This one. No, this way, because then Budgie can grab it with the forklift, yeah? So, in the middle. We're having a little sort out now that the scaffold is finished. I'm trying to put the kit in as little stillages as possible because we're just doing a lot of handballing, moving things around. If we take the time to do it once and put all the scaffold into stillages, then the forklift can do it moving forward, and then we can stop with all of the manual labor. It's a little bit of musical chairs and moving it around, but if you do it once and do it right, then it will save time in the future. I don't want the sheeting on pallets because it will just be messing around forevermore, and who knows when I'm going to get the itch again and start building more bits out of scaffold. So I've taken this massive stillage, just put boards along the bottom of it, and we're going to put 3 rows of the sheeting. When we build them up, we're going to get a couple and just slot them in here so they fit in place. We're going to fill all of this up. All of the sheets will be on one stillage. Then I'm going to throw a ratchet strap around the whole thing, tighten it up, and there'll be no more messing around. When we need them, if somebody needs them, we'll go and pick them up with the fork. We'll take off the ratchet strap, take what you need, put the ratchet strap back on, and then they'll go back into storage. It seems like a lot of messing about, I know, and it seems like a lot of manual handling, and why am I doing this, and why am I standing here, and why am I micromanaging? Because it needs to be done. That is the simple answer, and it needs to be done now, because I have plans on Monday, so I have to get those steel stillages over here. So we are going to try and take this and turn it and push it in there, then put another one in place here. If I have the space, I will take the third one and line it up with this gate so we create a U shape for the steel stillage, and then all the steel on the floor all around the yard will begin to store it if I have enough space. Up, up, up. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Forward. Yeah, keep going. There you go. Yeah, that's all right. Keep going. Watch the fence. Yeah. Yeah, keep going. Wait. Hey! Last bit that Ben's got to move off the railway yard is the flatbed. Monday morning, as I said, bright and early, this machine is going out. We've just had a technician come in to fit a breaker on the end of it. So very intelligently, Ben doesn't want to do double handling, which is what I love to do. So he's dropping the flatbed over here as opposed to where the other bins have been dropped, so we could track the machine on, tie it down and get ready for Monday morning. The prodigal son has returned. Wilson has arrived in the new Ashville yard on a Saturday. How's Wilson getting on?
All good. Glad to be back.
How's life?
Treating me well. Very busy.
It's good to hear.
It's nice to be back here.
Wilson's been flying all around the world, working in his family business, and he had time to grace us with his presence on a Saturday afternoon, doing a couple of drone shots for us. Let's have a look at them. Wilson is one fine drone and camera operator. So
Flashback to the water tower incident.
Yeah. No! Wilson always gets the fine drone shots, except when he crashed a drone in the yard. And he crashed the drone at Euro auctions as well.
Yeah.
But it was still a nice day. Let's have a look at me and Wilson on our wheeled chairs.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Of course.
Let's flash back to the time when Mercedes gave Wilson the good room and gave me the rubbish room, and Wilson was cracking up, laughing, but I let Wilson keep the room, because Wilson's a good lad.
Pretty sure we were delirious. It was like probably 2 or 3 in the morning at that point.
Yeah, it was 2 or 3 in the morning. We had just travelled and we had to be up early in the morning.
Yeah.
Wilson.
Daniel.
Wilson. Unfortunately, Wilson's not back for good. He's just paying a flying visit to see what it's like putting a new yard together. But we do miss Wilson. Wilson's a great kid.
Kind words.
Kind words. Right, so earlier in the week, you saw us take the Volvo out of Volvo, which needed MOT, but the MOT didn't expire to the end of the month. So we pulled the lorry out, and now we're heading down there to drop the lorry back because it's going to be tested on Monday, and then we should have it back out of there on Monday afternoon, hopefully. And that's it for this week at Ashville. I'm Daniel, and this was Ashville Weekly, episode 202.